programa rigid hindi talibal tayo makatamorsel talk show happy NSP laban trigal interns stay tuned Edison point 9 EPFM Tlabakalungi litasil sila koro kami roko ito sa teme damral melmal tel eltlok makatama Arcel Tokshor gid laban tirir atara pala National Scholarship Board laban trigal interns makmangu amay anong masanga mori mabal open na program marikit malungi litasil sila koro ka mori
litasil se minori ako man musulang tidak malungi litas Ali namongile Kameng malungi litasil sel mora kami roku ye aklutal may this is tama mang tasir na talk show gid el alwi ye continuation rekel me talk show gid el selatun. So we'll just get into it before at the start. Edi po kumtira ma man ngartiang mar other office mas scholarship board edi po kutar sa susura ma mal mora leader sirgid. Makot tedi po kumtira ma me kutar sa maltmol susura ma mal mora atanga kal president rigid surang al Whips Junior. Edi regal kutar sa susura ma mal mora atanga kal vice president rigid Reynold B. Oilo marokul members sa cabinet. Tiragal malodar sa susura malmora Senate President Mr. Hawkins Paules marokul senator se tiragal malodar sa susura malmora Speaker House Delegate Gibson Kanay marokul delegates. Tiragal di terma malodar sa susura malmora Ibadul Maraklay marubukul Palau madiragal susura malmora Bilum Ebiraklay marmasil Palau eselma mungulbong le kudar sa susura malmora Tira rogul governors mar speakers rega 16 states rabulur belaw. Tamam solar leaders sige dira ko kweril gire la balwada. Madalway se malungi litasil sa lokor kami rokuy sulang agtun ine oreng sa Mr. Tashorgit nga kangkle kamorisang udu yak kudar sel officer gid dira Palau National Scholarship Office. And here with me today are four special guests. Tira nga baby tira gid interns sel Lapanggi kalmera yung previous interview shows. Milatira ko SL group makadama mi 30 o 30 get to know them better. Like the others, di ka recipient sel award the makadoreng mong Palau Fellowship Award. Madiklutan mo ay sa ka di ka develop so del award in case nga ngayab as a listener sa kuktakalo ng laisel. So Palau Fellowship Award more tirigel ngal Palau nga school Raikel Palau nga ratay nga altira juniors going on their senior year current seniors malubet the recent college graduates sila receive tel award for the haro at ticket 30 mer Palau a total 8 weeks Al-sel 8 weeks, for the digital award tira 400 bi-weekly stipend every 2 weeks. So by the end of 8 weeks, intern amla receive a forward check that totals out to $1,600. Suguma recipient recent graduate, for the dihara ticket 31 Wilmer Belao, asugumang continuing student, they get a round trip ng sab Ilmer Belao or remote school complete the degree tier. Amok tira programa wa dolas mal encourage tira gid ngal gal belal nga school kel belaw matmo sa Maria el nga school e momrek e mutel mer belaw audio nga sira balwat timlay gid boko ide amay gal more tira gal special guest gid el sales e below their start tire while introducer tir e bodamura interview portion tel short gid sab ilo ay sangkliw kom adra ngara state traveler belaw kom ngara skuriger e ngara mature kami
Ali ngilitasil sa nga kashuri chibanak ngalra oldiais. I just graduated from the University of Hawaii at Manoa with a bachelor's in psychology. I graduated from Palau Community College, Palau High School, and George B. Harris. Psychology. Oh, I said it right. Okay.
Alright, Ali, good afternoon. Haklaka kan Raduel Ngiramat. I am from Ngarlong and Ngarard as well, from mom and dad's side. Two best states in Palau. Graduated from Palau High School and graduated from Koro Elementary School. I go to BYU Hawaii in Honolulu as well. And my major is communications and media theory.
Ali, yung afternoon, nakangklik ako, represent ako. And I'm from, again, maral actual best state sa Blue Rebela, walang rangayaw mablilyo. Ak mara elementary, ra talikibel time at Angar Elementary, direct kalmura Miguel. Ak narrator, nangiluwa, Associate of Arts degree nga ako, ra Palau Community College. Elak nga ra University of Hawaii at Manoa, pursuing my bachelor's in economics.
Ali malungilitasil senga kanklera dilub hideos enga kangal karangarard enga kamle graduate tra Koror Elementary School and mara PHS this recent spring yakne graduate tra Chaminade University of Honolulu el ngilwa Bachelor's of Science in Environmental Studies. All right, maybe we can stay with you dilub. And sabi ilo Isaac musikom guklo sabi il moder ngaral obisir elal samer ta ako ra supervisor kami matamor lam tatrid what have you been doing throughout your internship? Sulang modi elal internship Palau Forum fellowship El fellowship el alir nga kane audio Office of Climate Change el nga under the Office of the President supervisor nga ka Erbay Matsutaro nga National Climate Change Coordinator officer ma'am. Igel baby audio blo sabi karamut el alir ne helper trigal adra National Adaptation Plan. المرورة resubmission for an extension. The National Adaptation Plan is like a document for at the national level for adaptation measures towards climate change impacts. Tianga klotutulel meri daling ang maskida resources ma agel information of those spell adapt to climate change, whether it's through activities or even it touches like loss and damage and climate mobility, really the most more resilient to impacts of the climate change. So through this igal babil koram gare lawyer los egal mru lamla shasing igal selbal clodol el gora mera oblil orang sel gora me flood igal docks gimla shasing to note and also it attracts a lot of funding for efforts towards climate change impacts.
To si Siwaliere, ooy. So, nga ka intern ila all time, labang gala Ministry of Finance. Trigel na mamari kal intern sukuk namin masakar tayo internship ra Ministry of Finance na smoothie sel gora abe sa loru ringi tel gora rotation. I was about to say recycle. Okay, the rotation na sila Ministry of Finance. So first week na kami onboarding or lubong orientation week, and then I got placed under two offices sa sila Ministry of Finance. Nung sa kalbuk mesa yun kakarusel really ra sila Ministry. Segi del got del obis akplorngi, segi del obis or Bureau of Budget and Planning. No ngarse ye ne orior el بدولت el 2025 census el dangara el celere el which I believe is concluding. During my time there, we were able to sort of compare data that was coming in, seeing sort of what houses occupied, occupied, and then we actually went out into the field. Just last week, Thursday, baby interns, bangyal sa del team budget and planning, bilyo mga yaw الوق مؤمن سيد البأسل درون أقل نرسل بلو الvalidate تاجي الوق ريلير تجال other census who did the census راجي البلو. And then after budget and planning أقنر سيد الأوبيس را Financial and Economic Intelligence Services or FEIS. It's a little bit of a mouthful. Sige the obis tarakura dakal sa well-known office niyamal directly under the Minister of Finance. Of course, the Minister gidel ang gidel President gidel surang Lips Jr. And within that office, a lot of the work that they have to do is sort of more on the policy side. Ito offer economic and financial analysis, planning and coordination, and support decision making on a policy level. So in that office, I had the opportunity to work on the upcoming Citizens Budget Guide, the economic and fiscal update for fiscal year 25. Yeah, a lot of the work that I did was looking at graphs, different graphs, lots of different shapes. And there I was able to graph and then create a narrative for it. Graph المرang blue understand write out explain so we can sort of better educate the public on what are we looking at on the financial side and on the economic side. Thank you.
All right, it's my turn now. Just start off, for my internship, had a beautiful opportunity, and I'm grateful for the opportunity as well to work under PNOC, or Palau National Olympic Committee, and I'm under PBF, or Palau Basketball Federation. My supervisor is Jubilee Yuru Quarte. Shout out to the GOAT right there for allowing me to come back. So just some tasks that I've been assigned to do throughout this summer and since I've been here, mini games, and probably one of the best experiences I've had so far. I worked as a shot clock operator, basically just work with the time during the games, worked with different people from different backgrounds as well, so that kind of like helped me learn more about, how people's preferability or preferences of how they work. What else? Also was an announcer as well for the games, pretty much announcing awarding ceremonies, especially at the end of the games with the different executives and his presidency as well to be there. And I was nervous at that time, but it was a great way to expound and expand my knowledge as well, and always learning new things, so I really appreciate that from them. So far after mini games, I've just been pretty much office work and planning as well, sometimes on my own because my supervisor has another job where she needs to be there by herself, but pretty much planning. We're planning to do a basketball camp as well for the youth, preferably ages 14 to 16 in the elementary after schools. We're planning on doing one in Koror before my internship ends on the 22nd. And just another idea or task that we wanted to do was, me personally, I just wanted to do interviews as well for players. So the 3x3 players, since I'm close with them for basketball, just not only asking them generic questions about what made them get into basketball, but on a deeper level as well. Where can basketball get them, and just try to get them to know them more personally as well. So I think that's a beautiful opportunity for me.
Okay. My internship under the Division of Behavioral Health with the Ministry of Health, Division of Behavioral Health and Ministry of Health and Human Services. I'm functioning as a youth prevention coordinator. So many of the programs that the division is implementing, I go in to support it as a youth and find ways to make sure that the youth and issues regarding the youth, we have representation in those spaces. And it's really important in this kind of work with issues and solutions to be part of the solution. So nothing for us without us, and to ensure that these solutions are sustainable and it doesn't do harm to our community and the youth. So, for example, I am a facilitator for the Strengthening Families program. I lead the teen and the youth sessions, and these programs are for families in Palau, helping them communicate and give them practical, a space for practical,
Tips? Knowledge?
yeah, practical, yes. To practice how to be a family, and like how does that look like in a Palauan context, because those things, everything is Western around us, so with culture and how we're raised, it can look like really different in our community. So I help out with that, and also other youth initiatives. I help with grant writing, reporting for those grants, and sometimes implementations. So basically I support efforts that connect the youth to behavioral health, and yeah.
All right. Okay, so you guys have had a lot to do. So the more the certain experience na kami ra internship so far. What has been the highlight?
I think a highlight for me is always working with the youth. So in the sessions, I work directly with the youth, but another addition to that is during the games, I was able to support the athletics team and help them facilitate a safe space for the athletes to process their stress and their emotions, to help them prep for the game. So seeing ways that mental health, behavioral health intersects with everything that we do in life.
Yes, perfect.
Thank you, Shiri. For my highlight, I would say the mini games as well. For me, I'll continue off that. Not only do meeting new people as well, but just like the overall experience and the atmosphere of the games. Especially, I think when Palau was playing, for the women and men's, like everybody just came to support, and can just feel that as well. Even from the stand and as a neutral standpoint, and not only just for the games as well, but for learning as well. My experience in school and what I've learned there to apply it here. I think that's like one of the major highlights for me. Thank you.
Ako mga katalibal nervous. No, not only that, mal ayamar ko bas mention ay supervisor sa nga kartel tul office sa Clorni. Sige del office sa Bureau and Bureau of Budget and Planning na so kal recognize sige del supervisor sa nga kal nga Muriel Sinsak, Kionori Talam, Smamel, direkal nga niya Lina Thomas that I worked with. Kidel office ra of course ang immediate supervisor for myself and all the other Ministry of Finance interns, Leonie Christman. She's sort of the reason why we're all there today. Direct also I recognize, of course, Director of Budget and Planning, Kalip Uduy. A question
And
namli.
what's the highlight of your experience?
Highlight the experience nga, okay, since ako natul obvious why say two highlights from those offices, what is short tidbit. For budget and planning, I would have to say say the triple mura ang kawar mga yaw. Not just because it was a trip, and not just because of Malmoral Kabokal Blue, but because it really offered us or myself an opportunity to see sort of on the ground work for a lot of the things that we do. I get the information and the census sama to inform pretty much how the government operates on a financial level or and even on an economic level. And so we always just see the numbers, but it's a different story to be in the community, walk the roads and see the houses and the people who are in the community. It really puts faces to the numbers that we see on screen. As for FEIS, it's a lot of office work, but I think the highlight for this specific experience, the opportunity to work in an office that is actually quite young. Kaya loob sa FEIS sa malbato kakaro sila adal nga alsel. And it's a relatively younger office. There's recent graduates from this year, people who graduated a couple years ago. With older people, of course, it's a very interesting dynamic that I haven't seen anywhere else sa Belao or sa government. Oo, so say naman highlight na kasi gitu.
Tara highlight ra telurior ngaring ilang is probably serak populasya sing regal flooding areas ra sa Orior. Excuse me. It kind of, for most of the time we're working on documents, so we see a lot of pictures, but then actually being there to take the photos makes me realize how vulnerable Belao is, not just as a whole, but the different communities. And it kind of makes me sad, and I think it kind of gives me purpose of why I pursued my education, and also why I chose to work at the Office of Climate Change. But also one thing that I wanted to note was learning effective communication in the workspace, and also just learning how to work as a team, being a team player. It builds up skills, and it also kind of expands my social network. So I either bibira highlights from the internship.
Internship experience sa school. So would you say Gablem Subra School has really helped you throughout this internship, and can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, they definitely connect. So, learning psychology in a Western institution and having that here in Palau, those are two really different things. So, in school, we learn about different frameworks and theories that say, psychology and culture and community, they all connect, and they navigate the work that needs to be done, because it looks very different in different communities. And so we learn about that, and we're very open to, how differently it can look. But being here and seeing how those framework changes to serve the Palauan community, and the different bridges in between that, like maybe it costs more, or we have to do a lot of things differently, so that when we talk about solutions, they become effective and truly serve the Palauan community and the Palauan youth.
Yes. What I learned in school for communication, but not only communication as well, one of my minors was coaching exercise. So pretty much into sports as well. And apart from mini games, what I learned about planning and how to work with the youth as well is different than working with high schoolers. Because in my school, I did do shadowing as an assistant coach, but it was with high schoolers, and they pretty much know their stuff. So I'm just there to ask them if they're okay, if they need help. Pretty much just shadowing. I wasn't doing much. But with the youth, obviously they need more attention. Sometimes they need other specific things to work on besides just basketball, probably some other things outside their life. So with the youth as well, what I'm able to learn is how to communicate with them effectively, how to make sure that they're in check and that they're not missing out on things. Because the best way to get the youth involved is by having them involved in the activity. You don't want them just being on the side. You don't want them watching other people. You don't want them comparing themselves why is he better than me than that. So that's just one of what I've learned from my university that I can apply it here, and it's been great so far.
So I explained in Masik graduate at PCC. I just graduated last year, so I've only been at UH Manoa for only 1 year, pursuing my BA in economics, and so I really have only been exposed to a lot of the introductory and intermediate level courses. And so I actually I actually did sort of see a lot of those in the work that I did. Of course, say the main difference as a classroom, it's actually quite, we're actually doing math, like a lot of the calculus that goes into calculating tora GDP, tora CPI, Consumer Price Index. We're actually doing the calculus work by hand versus now sila Ministry of Finance. So like we're not at that level. Like iba lang malal ko ra misal nga bab. So ngarinya ko ra masil or alubong ko ra programs that actually run a lot of the numbers. So we don't have to do the math ourselves. But like mara school like how do they actually make the numbers? And now I'm at this level where I'm actually seeing what difference those numbers are actually making.
Of environmental issues. One of the biggest issues that we faced. So we learned about the conference of the parties and how, how big of events activities la UN and stuff. And right now we're starting to prepare for the Telmrel Cup 30. I think it's going to be happening in November or December. That's normally when it happens. So I get to see on the ground how hectic it gets before attending these big meetings and how each person prepares and so definitely yeah.
Thank you. Ella, can you remind us, what school are you attending and why you chose to go to that school? Why you chose your major?
Okay, so I attended the University of Hawaii at Manoa, and I studied psychology there. To me, so I was like Weber, I graduated PCC, and I actually took a gap year to align myself with the community, and I kind of landed with the Division of Behavioral Health. So that kind of led my path to why I picked psychology. And it was really important for me to get that education in an institution that respects cross-cultural differences and these theories, because I didn't just want to get an education and come back and have to change all these change my perspective. And it was really important for me to just finish up school because I only had 4 semesters left to gain a bachelor's degree. So the weather helped, the community helped, and I think also the alumni network. Many pacemakers in Palau are alumni of UH Manoa, so I felt like I was going to be in good hands, and this space was going to let me grow in different ways. So
when I got the acceptance letter of like the number 1, best school in Hawaii, I obviously have to go there and leave my mark there. So BYU Hawaii, the reason I went there, pretty much a family tradition. My mom went there, class of 87. My sister went there, class of 2016. So I decided just to continue the family tradition as well. And my major again is communication media theory. I chose that. Also follow my sister as well. She just told me it's an easy major, and I'm like, okay, all right, I like that. I'll take that. But apart from it, it's not easy. But apart from like all the reading and writing and pretty much having to present every single week, it kind of helps a lot as well to right now, and also being an announcer for the mini games in front of everybody. So I think that helps a lot as well. But what made me choose the university apart from like my family is I like the school based on like the location. It's small, it's diverse, and the stuff that they teach and like the also like the cost of tuition as well. I feel like that was like in favor of me, so that's just the reason why I chose that school. It's a beautiful school, best school in Hawaii. If I forget to mention, just saying.
I give it fake news. That's what that is. Of course, I attended the I am attending the University of Hawaii at Manoa. There's a lot of different factors when you're choosing a school. As for why I chose to go to UH Manoa, really two things. Arivil. I have siblings on the continent, ng Amarigel, and then like I had to come back to Palau. So it was a nice little in between. So being in Hawaii was it's a real sort of middle ground for prices in terms of given mura Marigel, given Mirbelao. Other than that, there's a lot of signs pointing towards that direction. Mainly because I graduated from PCC last year, and that was just after PCC and the College of Social Science at the University of Hawaii at Manoa formulated what I MOU, that formulated their relationship and then established a track. So myself graduating with a liberal arts degree from PCC last year, timle pang 2 years. Mal 2 years. Depending on where you go, that might fluctuate. But coming from PCC to Yale College of Social Science, UH Manoa, it was a straight 2-year program. In fact, if I took summer, I could have graduated as early as this upcoming fall.
Ano major ka PCC?
Major ka PCC liberal arts. Masuri lirak ka liberal arts, and so the program ma'am going through liberal arts. May say sa focus but tayo at the College of Social Science, and 2 years. And for other programs, that's not the case. And so this was my decision, sort of just came right after they had that agreement signed. Direct first semester, last fall, 24, I'm first semester in-state tuition. So it became cheaper because cost was a factor as to why I wouldn't be going. But it became cheaper, it became easier, and then I was aware that I'd be joining a sort of a student population that already existed. Ashuri am nara UH Mano at that time. These two, of course, awok na schoolir, all within the same island of Oahu. And so, yeah, there's a lot of different factors.
Major ka?
My major was economics.
And why did you choose to go into
yes, why did I choose my major, Komeng? Mal terstar adal masubra to economics. All the people that I can think of, trial nga OP Salurio at that time, FEIS. And I think that, I was at PCC for quite a long time, and I really had an opportunity to do I never actually worked a 9 to 5, but I had an opportunity to explore sort of a lot of volunteering work, especially with the civil society organizations or NGOs. And then within that space, a real need for more Palauans in these Western-dominated fields. Tukara economics, real times, technical assistants or technical advisors. The patukar atrang ko el balu. Patukar atrang ko el balu. Emal there's other bela working within that field. And mal nariyan ko mas things like economics and other fields as well require Palauan voices, require other bela nga alsel. And so that was the main factor as to why I chose economics. Songs, and they needed me. And I'm just joking. No.
Okay, so like I said, I major environmental studies, and I went to Shamnar University of Honolulu. High school, like activities like summer jobs. like environmental in the environmental sector. I did one at PICRIC, PICRC, the Department of Conservation, Law and Enforcement, Regular State. So, and I also tragal other kami other kora conservation. So I kind of grew up in that environment, and which is kind of why I chose to major in environmental studies, and also after a scholarship from Shamnad University that covered almost half of my tuition. High school, I was really busy with a lot of other activities where I missed a couple deadlines for like the Taiwan scholarship. Yeah, sige the sister nga kami ngarbela wal on a break from her master's degree, and then she sat me down and told me to apply to Chaminade. So that's also why I kind of applied. I think it was like one of the 2 schools that I had time to apply for. But then the reason why I chose Chaminade was because of the scholarship, and also because sister nga kadira kane na school Chaminade dire kane masuba environmental studies.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So looking back at college, what would you say has been the most challenging part and the most positive?
Okay, so it's hard leaving home, and of course finding ways to juggle everything because you're now a young adult. As for me, for my last year, I found that I felt like I was racing against time. So, in addition to being a graduating senior, I was also picking up a lot of roles. So I had a job as a peer mentor where I hosted a class of freshman students and introducing them to the university life. So I was grading and doing attendance and also mentoring and meeting each student three times in a semester and reporting and doing all these things. And I was also an officer for the Micronesian Club on campus, and what else? I was also a student ambassador for our College of Social Sciences. And then with all of this in my personal space, my siblings were also there. It was their first semester, so I also wore the eldest daughter, big sister hat. And so it was a struggle balancing all of this. And my body, I was sick all the time. So I opened my senior year with pneumonia, and I was sick until graduation ceremony. So, learning that even your body knows its limits, even if you don't. So if you don't rest, your body will make you rest. But are we gonna do our highlight or something? The positive. So tying in with, it's not all just bad, right? These growth pangs has its rewards. So I was graced by the College of Social Sciences. They nominated me to receive an award for Outstanding Graduating Senior. So being nominated and then being able to apply. So this award was for scholarship, service, and leadership. So with all the things that I was really busy with throughout the last year, it all kind of tied up to its own little bow at the end. And so I was also kind of like the student speaker. So I addressed the College of Social Sciences at our graduation, and I was able to surprise my parents. So they flew in for the graduation, and they attended, and they didn't know that I was speaking and delivering this whole speech. So seeing that hard work does pay off, and when you bring in your culture and your commitment to your people in spaces of higher education, you exceed the expectations, because they're not used to people having that kind of commitment, but it was really rewarding to see that when you let these values lead yourself in higher education, you just go, you just fly, and that was really nice.
Clock it. Alright, so for my most challenging experiences, personally, I got 3 things. One is being broke. You ever been so broke where you go to sleep instead of looking for what to eat? That happened a lot freshman year. Second, being distant. I think for my first 2 years, I was the only Palauan student on BYU Hawaii. So being away from home, for me, I learned a lot with different, groups and everything, but I do miss that part of being home, speaking the language, and just, being around my friends. And then the third one is, this is just my school. Everybody pressuring you to either get married. In BYU, it's Mormon, LDS, and you'll be surprised. If you go to campus, you'll see a 19-year-old who's married and has a kid already. You'll be surprised. And there's also people who's like, oh, you're engaged? She's just fresh out of high school. I am being so for real. And there's people like, oh, you should do it. Oh, you should do it. Your bishop, everybody, they're just like, you should do it. I'm like, no, that's not Palau, no. I won't do that. For my positive experiences, though, one, I'll say my friend group that I've had from freshman year until my upcoming senior year since I graduate this December. So I just want to say shout out to those. Thank you. Second is my parents for helping out, especially my sister. I love my professors, but my sister kept some of her works when she was in school, and it's the same layout with some of my assignments I've done, and I just want to say shout out to my sister. For my professors, please let me graduate. And then third, just want to say post-positive experience is the opportunities as well. I've been to a lot of different meetings, presentations, meeting new people, new connections as well. A lot of people out there telling me that, oh, if you need anybody to look into for a job or just an internship in Hawaii, it's why not? We can always apply, and not only connecting with other people, but learning from them as well, because you always learn more in life. You can never stop learning. So to learn more about not just in school, but a daily living, how to be more resourceful with stuff. I took some cooking classes there. It's actually helps a lot. I still get takeout every here and there. There's a Taco Bell and McDonald's, a 10-minute walk from school. And they open till 12 a.m. So sometimes I'm oh, I should be healthy, but that McDouble's calling my name every single time. But yeah, those are some of the experiences that I have pretty much in college. But the thing is, with a challenging experience, it's all temporary. It's not going to be forever, Either get up and make a change about it, or you're just going to let it, continue with your life. So pretty much it's just a lesson to learn and to just get up and do it. So yeah.
What did you say? Clock it? Yeah. Clock it, yeah. Oh, oy.
Challenges
Okay.
Thank you, Shuri.
Challenges ma highlights at the tema ka nga UH. The biggest challenge was getting there. Yeah, the biggest challenge was getting there. When you go to a school as big as the University of Hawaii at Manoa, student population niya 20,000 or a little bit over. Ang maluklo. So systems they work slower. That's a nice way of putting it, but ang malpatok ako ra bureaucracy, red tape here and there. And so my experience last year, I was admitted relatively early. Eving balmo call problem housing nga ka. So I applied for housing 6-7 weeks after that. And then I still haven't heard.
Right.
And so I actually, I had the opportunity to sort of explore the people. I sort of went into contacted the people I know. Putokorti, a professor from UH Manoa, including Adrekal President de PCC, or Dr. Patrick Delay. I really reached out. Eban mo sarili lang sir nga, and so I sort of figured out my housing situation going in. And so actually getting there was the most challenging part. And so every time ang kora mamring la aso balo bang kora mo nya atito kara sarak nga Hawaii, I just thought of like how lucky I am that I managed to make it.
What do you say?
Yeah, and it's on top of that it's not cheap, and so umalo ora la sa nga Hawaii. A little bit cheaper than here for some things, and so that's appreciated. Yeah, but being a first-gen college student, I did not have an older sibling to pull me into their college.
Yeah.
And so I really had to like figure it out on my on the way there. But like I said, another I guess I'm transitioning into sort of the highlight of the college experience is really getting to meet all these people. People I already knew, I strengthened those relationships, and then I created new ones with all these other people. When I think I speak for most of us here who go to school on Oahu, there's a really large international student population at our school. Islands in the Pacific. So I had the opportunity to meet people all the way from PNG and Mora Rapa Nui, like literally opposite ends of the Pacific. And so that really expanded my view. Sa dangara sa pero to kadyom na surabela ma atakal sa lidra Saba no sa lidra Taiwan ma sa lidra Marigel. To koro obes na masingmal to kay Pacific Island countries around the Yid. And so going to Hawaii really expanded my network to include all of these people. And I'm really grateful for that.
Yes. Very nice.
I think the most challenging part of going to college is the sudden change of the environment. Sarak ngartang ngara school ya mabto ka adat mo sa ay kamal smart. Makmal mo mo sa kamal smart. And this is the okra. So the okra also la class but togar trigal mengara high school that took like dual classes, like college classes, so they're like way ahead of most of the, maybe not most, but probably half of the class. It's challenging to kind of adjust to that to that level of knowledge, and it kind of makes you uncomfortable in class. But then, like, you make friends, and I think that's the positive experience, is making friends and gaining a family and lifelong friends as well. But yeah, I just had to. It's like every day is a challenge, and you have to be independent, and seeing that your decisions affects you immediately. Decisions that other affect the challenging, so I had to pace myself and make sure that I had enough money. I come from a Catholic school, in-state tuition or out-state. It was like a set tuition, so which is why I chose the dorm, because like the school year tuition, so I don't need to worry about budgeting and making sure I have enough money in harawa school. So yeah, those are a couple of things.
Alright, malungil. Ela for in terms of mention na ay galokra financial sir kami Conrad went to sleep so I'm so sorry for you. Yeah, but you're still here. Aside from PNSP, were you guys able to have other source of income throughout college? Kung something to share, masumara niya ko ra oreng sil so rin mora Hawaii. To ko ra our sumukumila scholarship. There you had to work extra jobs.
Yeah, so I kind of mentioned with all the roles I was picking up, I had 2 campus jobs, and my way of like kind of getting away with that is I just find how all of them are connected. They relate to one another, so kind of making sure I don't spread out too much. So I had 2 campus jobs, and as for scholarships, this last year was also like Weber, getting there was kind of tough because FAFSA was acting up. They had the new FAFSA, and that was like, that changed a lot for me because the school reflects on your FAFSA and then see like the need base. And so all the scholarships that I got my first year, they had nothing to look at for my FAFSA. I had no records for the next year, so I didn't get many of all the scholarships I applied to the year before. So FAFSA really did something. But seeing that like how much we rely on stuff like that from the United States, like it was a eye-opening experience. And so grateful for PNSB because through PNSB I had the scholarship, the loan, and the grant. And I think out of all the scholarships I had before, only APIA was easy to kind of work with because they know majority of their Asian Pacific Islander awards. So I kind of got away without having FAFSA with them because everyone they were serving wouldn't have FAFSA as well. So yeah, I think that's all. And then also applying to whatever I could here in Palau. So the Father Felix Yao Scholarship for the social sciences, I also had that. So, just pulling where I can. And I think that's what was really important to me is, your grades are kind of what opens those doors. So knowing my situation and knowing that, like, I'm the oldest sibling and, like, I want to be able to do things on my own, like, yeah.
All right. A big award is a job. That helps a lot. So I worked 2 jobs when I was there, one on campus and one pretty much on the side morning prep. 7 Brothers. You guys heard about that?
7 Brothers?
Yeah. It's on Hawaii.
Restaurant though?
Yeah, it's like a burger spot up in Laie.
Yummy.
Yeah, that's why y'all gotta come to Laie, the best spot. So I was on a Hukilau scholarship award that our school provides for technically domestic students. It is 2.0 GPA and up, and you're required to just stay in the dorms and required to work like a certain amount of hours a week. And pretty much like half of that paycheck goes right through like tuition and family contribution. So pretty much what I'm left every semester, so we have 3 semesters in our school, fall and winter, usually about 6,000 a semester. But after that Hukilau scholarship and financial aid as well hitting, I'm usually left with just paying just under 1,000, and then PNSB can pretty much cover that. So that scholarship helps a lot. I've been on and off from it because I get too greedy and I want my full paycheck, and I kind of like use me being Palauan as a advantage. This is like no hate. There are some like mainland or people from like the states that apply, but they don't get it because of their like family situation that they make too much money. But because like one time my friend said it, and he says a joke, but I was like kind of low key eye opening. He's like, "Cause you're from Palau, like they'll just give that scholarship to you," and I'm like, I was like, actually, you're right. Yeah, I'll take that. Actually, you're right. Yeah, I'll take that. I was gonna be like offended, but I was like, no, you're right. Actually, so like that was pretty much the only like award that I had, and along with financial aid and PNSP. So yeah.
And you deserve it because you're Palauan.
To be Palauan, yeah. Tamasada il ko kakarosa scholarships. So of course I'm a recipient of federal financial aid, FAFSA, as well as the Palau National Scholarship. Yeah, I received the PNSB scholarship, mock grant, for the last school year. And then on top of that, the only other scholarship that I got was from the Dr. Joachim Jojo Peters Memorial Scholarship, which is a scholarship that awards Micronesian students from the Republic of Palau, the Federated States of Micronesia, and the Republic of the Marshall Islands pursuing their education outside the region. And so myself, one other Palauan, I believe from EOU, and then another fellow Rainbow Warrior, somebody from UH Manoa, from Pohnpei. She got the award. So that was a nice little add-on to all the support I received from PNSP and financial aid. On top of that, I never had a formal job. I did have an internship through the Pacific Islands Development Program. East West Center, I was able to work with the Department of Linguistics sa School UH Manoa, where myself and other Palauans had an opportunity to work on some linguistic projects regarding Palauan, language documentation projects on Palauan. So that's work that I was able to do, and then tora mes chins on the side. Not a lot, but you know. At least sandim lakpok kumiyo I will song lang. Like no.
So scholarships, as I mentioned before, akne recipient ra Regent Scholarship ra Shamla University. Tianga mortrigal, I think it goes to like the Micronesian students, and and I think it was based on like your grade from high school and your transcript. On top of that, I'm FAFSL direct, and then excuse me, and then PNSP. Also, one of the semesters, can't remember which one. They're like private donors at Askulam, and they make like scholarship, like donations right there. Mostly for like if environmental students or depending on your major. So taking advantage of those resources, like internal scholarships, and but it helps a lot. It's like maybe like $1,000 or $1,500 for, it depends on the donor. I think it adds up at the end of the day, and it helps a lot with not just the tuition but living expenses. I also worked as a student worker at the Hogan Entrepreneurial Leadership Program. It's a program it's like separate from the business, the School of Business. So it's like a certificate program where then get them register shamanal, and then kamlangi. I worked there for a bit, but then I kind of realized that it was stressing me more than my schoolwork. So I had to kind of step down from that for myself to be able to keep my grade up at school. So yeah.
Alright, now looking towards the future, ngara plans kami after college, and for you guys, Shuri and Dilub will not graduate. What are your plans moving forward?
Yeah, in our case, this is the future, right? So my plan is to be home, doing a lot of this service outside of Palau. Really inspired me to, put that service here in Palau where it's really gonna matter, so contributing back to the community, for the Aina, for the people, that's really important. Yeah, and after a hard senior year, listening to my body and what that did for me, it was really important to just slow down and to reevaluate the next steps. And I'm really happy to do that here in Palau where there's a lot of need. So yeah, that's my plans.
All right, so plan right after college. I plan to stay in Hawaii and work there for a bit. Just work in the same department that I have on campus, because they offer as well for graduates for full time. But I do plan to come back here and work as well, because there is like the micro games next year and the Youth Olympics, and I've been recruited for basketball, so I would be excited to come back and just play for Team Palau again as I did before. Yeah, thank you.
Future plans?
Yes.
I aktivikalmutal school this upcoming fall. For my last year, I'll be graduating spring 2026 with my bachelor's in economics. After that, I do plan on on coming back. But I'm sort of in the process, like maybe the next 6-7 months, really like plan ahead, especially because I am considering a master's program. Taksa short masing swakal malmol na skole kal nga ramrigel. Malkabato ka things that are going on there that doesn't, really help with the education. And so I'm going to be taking these next couple of months to sort of evaluate my future plans. But the immediate goal, of course, is to graduate next spring. And then it's only 2 years, so I'm going to spend the next year explore Hawaii. That's on the personal side. Maybe I finally visit his campus. Malaroy.
Kadang-kadang naitira last year mori ako nasi ako naantindi sa school game mutalmay. So like Shuri said, this is my future. Coming back, planning mo oriol reevaluate myself too. There's consider a lot of these opportunities and ngani drakal wala tulda sa mutal mo nga bar del mo manara scholar. So I'm here to work for a bit. Talk army mga regare. I've been spending a lot of money that I don't have, and I think now is the time to earn it. But yeah, just stay here. Oriol talgibe. Kung sa ngarasa dalulira at sa legal community sa givetiang. On sa next steps.
Right, malungin. Okay, so advice. What advice would you give to a recent high school graduate, more recent high school graduates that are thinking of going to school abroad, or not necessarily recent high school graduates, just anyone that are thinking of going to school abroad? What advice would you give them?
I think this is more of a general advice, and I can apply that to everyone, but I'd say jobs, opportunities, all these other things, they come and go, but you don't. You stay, because there's only one of you. So take care of yourself, nurture yourself, and there's a time for everything. Even the Bible says that there are different seasons. So like what Dilu was saying, this is the time for us to kind of save up and figure out our next steps. So, maybe this is a time for you to sharpen yourself and evaluate your goals. So as long as you're diligent with yourself and your goals and these values, prepare yourself for the next step. So, you really got to care for yourself, because we're young adults. No one else is going to do that for you. So, trust in that process, and give yourself love. And the love you give yourself, the care you give yourself is also a gift for other people.
There. Yep. So just ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the adult world. Yeah, you're gonna struggle, but that's part of life. I'm not gonna say that to scare you guys. That's gonna be part of life. There's gonna be some negative things that's gonna happen. You're gonna be more independent now, so decisions and pretty much all the actions you do is on your own. So mom and dad obviously is not gonna be there, because they're gonna let you have your freedom now. But just the generic advice coming off of Shuri's is like pretty much just there's opportunities everywhere, wherever you go. It's just, can you make the most of it? Can you apply what you've known and learned throughout high school to your adult life right now? And one thing as well that I want to say is that excuse me. One thing I want to say is that be true to yourself. Just be true to yourself and what you believe in. Some things where you are can determine your worth. Just because like the moon only comes out at night because that's its time. You have your time. Everybody else has their time. So I just want to say that just be true to yourself. Go where you're needed, and don't rush anything. Don't rush everything. Everything will come to you. It's the Lord's timing. It's the Earth's timing as well. So I just want to say that.
Advice. I have two. Ngayon advice lang ako. One that's practical and maybe one that's for the long term kind of thing. The practical one, I would say, especially for recent high school or soon to be high school graduates, seriously consider Palau Community College. I think it's really difficult to be off island, away from home, and be growing up at the same time. I can't imagine growing up fresh out of high school in UH Mano by myself. I think that me attending Palau Community College, I did a lot of my growing here. Masira Atemekal Mora University, yes, there was challenges here and there, but not a single challenge I experienced felt defeating. Oo, yakmal hindi na connected yun ansing nga ako. Because I really had not ansing, but mukmaya teme lang nga among nani ako experience nga, you know, with higher education, talking with grown-ups, for example, is a big thing that you really have to learn to do. But yeah, and so I did a lot of my growing here. I had a wonderful set of instructors, including Teacher Vanji. And so all of those people really sort of prepared me. Incubator, that's the word. It really sort of incubated me and prepared me for higher education. So, like I said, every challenge that I met at UH Manoa didn't feel like it was the end of the world. It was just another problem to solve because I was prepared. Long-term goal, or like long-term advice for anyone really, but especially to these high school graduates or soon to be high school graduates, there's that the phrase going around, downfold. You know, it's simple as just keep going. We're faced with a lot of challenges where you think it's either yes or no, but the more you, I think, grow up, the more you realize that that's not always the case. So always ask for help. That's what I did, and that's how I ended up here.
One thing I forgot to mention before was realizing how learning became more exciting to me as I reached the end of my school experience. And I think it's just realizing that especially when education is such a sensitive topic, deeper within the community. High school, mga school it's so automatic. They don't ask about what your plans are. They just ask about where you're going next. So I think my advice is to walk and to go with that excitement of learning, and even though it was forced upon us for the past 12 years, learning that space that you feel excited about to learn and to know more about, and that really helped me finish school. Finding the excitement in me was saying, I want to learn more about this, and as time comes, it becomes more specific, or what you learn about, which is it helps you a lot. And I would also want to say that don't compare yourself to others. The real competition is your past. And yes, but yeah, so don't worry about where others are, just worry about where you're going.
All right.
Thank you.
Great advice, Comrade Masulang. And last one, I want to give you guys the opportunity to just recognize all the people that have helped you throughout your educational journey.
Yeah, I think I want to start with my time in Hawaii. So I want to thank My supervisors, all the people in the College of Social Sciences, so Dr. Ula, Dr. Rubin, and the dean herself, Dean Denise Konen of College of Social Sciences. Their trust and their trust in me and their investment in my education and my time there in Hawaii and how I was able to do all these things. And also the support of, my siblings. They were there many times with all these things I was doing. I leaned on their support, them showing up, and also friends like Weber. So they really brought home to Hawaii, and I was able to, truly ground myself and make sure that every step I'm making, there's a purpose and there's people I'm serving when I do those things. So really grateful for that. And also my supervisor for my peer mentor, Dr. Kyle Van Duzer. Making sure that there's a representation in the school, especially for Pacific Islanders, and giving me that position to help in the ways that I know how. Also here in Palau, because as I mentioned before, I took time here before heading out, and my time here is what guided my educational journey. So my supervisors and mentors, Chief Evelyn Tamangil and Teresita Skang, and everyone in the division who I come across with, you really learn everyone is carrying some kind of weight on them, and everyone has their purpose of doing this kind of work. So finding inspiration and strength within all those stuff. So and my parents too, and God, for the strength and the strength.
All right, so anybody or anyone who I want to acknowledge for helping me reach my educational goal, first and foremost and always, I want to thank God and His Son Jesus Christ as well. All the ups and downs I've had, all the negative stuff has just helped me learn to grow. All the positive stuff has just helped me to achieve more instead of settling down from what I've earned. So I just want to give a big thanks and gratitude towards them. Second is my parents as well for pushing me to pursue my education, especially my mom as well, just every day pushing me. If I got a 99, she'd tell me, why did you get 100? If I got 100, she'll tell me, why did you get 101? It doesn't even exist, but I just want to say shout out to her for pushing me. My dad as well for keeping me down to earth and humble. Does not celebrate my wins nor losses, but he just tells me I can always do better every single time. So similar to my mom, but he's just straightforward with it. But that's my dad. I love him to death. Third is my advisors in college for helping me pick the greatest classes, and also my sister as well for helping me with my classes as well, giving me pretty much a template on how to pass and what to expect. But to my advisors as well for helping me throughout any questions that I had. Some professors as well that really know their work in their field for helping me out. Fourth is my friend group as well for pushing me, for convincing me to stay in and study instead of going out. Those are real people. I really appreciate them for that. Even though I would disagree with them, no, let's do it. They're like, no, sit down. You got to F in your last exam. You got to push through and get this one. I'm like, all right, you didn't got to say that, but thank you. And then I want to thank myself. I want to thank myself as well. It sounds selfish, but you can't do it without yourself, pretty much, without the help of others. No matter how much help you get, it's all up to you to pursue that. And so I just want to say a big shout out to myself as well. So yeah, thank you.
First and foremost, what's been previously mentioned, man masaw Dios sa Rogoy, for everything that he does. I definitely feel like I'm in a place of my life because he showed me the way. Outside of that, I wanna first of all thank Tagal Adra Internship in Al-Time, Tagal Adra Ministry of Finance, Tony Director Caleb Udoy, Internship Coordinator Leonie Christman. I would mention names, but malbato Tagal Adra Obis Ramam, Tagal Adra Obis FEIS, Material Adra Bureau of Budget and Planning ang nga yung not physically under, they're on the second floor. Nga yung Material nga second floor na one-stop shop. Tirik kamal masaw la Aradra Blik, Trigal nga Ansel Michael Belaw, my cousins, my aunts, uncles, and of course my siblings for everything. Yes. Direkal sa kalawang sulir kuk adra University of Hawaii at Manoa. Dr. Dean Denise Conan for her assistance in housing. Trigal adakara East West Center, specifically Pacific Islands Development Program. Dr. Marie Hattori Perez, ma Lori. You don't know these people, but I'm very thankful for them. They're very important to mention. Jeff, everybody at the office, kinate, trigal malbatol adra obisal. The reason why I have housing in Hawaii is because of them. Outside of that, University of Hawaii at Manoa, trigal masal trigal advisors nga. This previous summer, I went on a course to Maui. I had a very sort of, I wouldn't say life-changing, but it definitely altered my perception of the world. So I really want to thank Kumu or Professor Kavika Tengan, my TA Imi, and all those people who sort of part of that journey have really made my time in Hawaii special. There kami masala adra Palau National Scholarship Board. Of course, the title internship side, which is of course Mori, direkal nga niya mameri nga obis, trigal kakarusal adra board, direkal sa kalora nga suli la President of the Republic, man adra olvil, al malmasaw lalom na sur kamam at biblo all passer tel budget, hopefully nga niya increase all year. But yeah, thank you all. I am really grateful sa lola kay ludo dar pinesbit man madin mase naldil adra blid mang other bela rogu ya mal on nga given. So thank you all for the opportunity.
Thank you.
So kalmari nga sulit our other applic. Alman helper nga al push me to pursue my education, and also to the family that I gained in Hawaii. Our other legal Marcel our other ma trigal sa alik, the crowd that helped each other reach graduation point. I'm thankful that we helped each other and we were able to graduate. Direkal susokal lorang asule la my Hanai family, the Tangatay Loas. They took me in and they really helped me in my journey in faith as well. Direkal, they helped me gain a perspective in life that I never had before. Thank you.
Alright, komral masulang ako
Mahalo.
Thank you. Yasay kita mo mangula mga lalasyon kit. Thank you interns ramalungin show. Akluko kakmutal may with the sa akluko it will be our last show of the summer. Please tune in tomorrow same time 2 p.m. Bodruk the the last group of interns.
Mountaineers.
Yes, Tegakukti Ngalraskura EOU, Eastern Oregon University. So ndim laygegi da sumang samin mutal mamadinge muyulam so del tial program Palau Fellowship Award ding masip idiom kadong office 488-3608 or kom email ra pnsp.internship@gmail.com. That's it for today. Kamaran masulang. Thank you to all the listeners na tune in ni Orengs mo Mr. Ta show. Makukluro ka.
Mahalo. Aloha.
Kasi kita wala pangalala, talk-show kita laban tirir adra pala National Scholarship Board at trigal interns basta tirir aklol prot. Kaya kita malmalma Tlabak along nilita sils, lekor kami urakoy.